This is the DJI Mini 3 Pro in 2023. Several videos about the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and this is my go-to drone for travel and cinematics. If you're new to my channel, everything I say in the videos is not scripted. Everything comes from my own experience, so this is as raw as it can get. The first thing I have to mention about the DJI Mini 3 Pro is the lightweight build of it. 249 grams, it is amazing. I might have or might have not had a situation where the weight of the drone actually saved me in a location. Well, I had a situation where a civil guard might came up to me and were questioning my flying, but thanks to the weight of this drone, they didn't really push any farther and everything went smoothly. Which means that this drone is amazing because the loss and just the overall flight experience is just more comfortable. Not only the weight, because of its weight, is just better for your back and your backpack you're packing, but also thanks to this, the laws and regulations in different countries usually are from 250 grams and above, and this drone is 249 grams as it says on the bottom. On the bottom here, if you look, 249 grams, but the weight doesn't mean it's not a good drone. I literally sold my old Mavic Air 2 for this drone. Even though I could upgrade to any other drone, I went for this. After getting it for testing, I was sold on it. It is so easy to set up, especially if you're like me and you get with the RC controller. And I had it for testing, this exact setup, and I just said, you know what, I was not thinking about, changing my drone. The Air 2 was really good, but after playing around with this setup, it just felt so good to be able to just really quickly set it up and just start flying. So with the RC and this drone, that's a beautiful setup. Not only is lightweight, you just turn on the controller and turn on the drone and you're ready to go. It is really quick and easy to start flying, and at a great pretty much quality, because the quality of the controller and the screen is amazing, and the same thing goes for the quality from the drone. And speaking of the quality from the drone, it can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second. It can actually shoot in 10-bit, and the quality is amazing. At first I thought it's gonna be the same thing as Mavic Air 2, but I feel like it is slightly better. I just feel like there's something to it. It could be a better bitrate, or it could be just a placebo effect, but it does feel better. It just feels like a newer technology, but it's really comparable, and just having the lightweight aspect of it makes it worth it in my book. It still has the obstacle avoidance for the back and front, so it didn't change for me. I know it doesn't have the sideways, and that could be a deal breaker for some, but it isn't for me. Usually I just rely on my own skill and my own, visibility of the drone and the situation. I try not to do something stupid and make sure that I'm covered in all the situations. So that could be something for you, not something for me. And one more thing is, in terms of the quality of the camera itself, you can actually shoot in vertical. And that is really cool, because on the Mavic Air 2, I would have to actually do like the stitch of the 3 photos. Here, it just has this vertical feature where it just turns the camera either horizontally or vertically. As you can see, it can turn around, which is really good, and in my opinion this makes it the best drone for social media in 2023. And while there are different drones like the Mavic 3 series, while they might have better quality in terms of like the footage itself, I feel like for social media this is more than enough. It is way more than enough in my opinion, and having that vertical means you're covered for everything, with normal horizontal video for YouTube and vertical for shorts, reels, and everywhere else you might want to have horizontal video. And one last thing that is great about this drone that I thought is not going to be so good is, a lot of people said it's not the best in high wind situations, and there is a point to it. It's really tiny, it's really lightweight, and it's small, so it should be really easily pushed around in the winds. But from my experience being on Canary Islands with it, and that place is supposedly windy a lot of times, well, to be honest, I had no difference compared to Mavic Air 2, and the specifications of the drone actually rated at the same as Mavic Air 2. Which I didn't have much problem with too. So in my opinion, this is not a problem. It is going to be a problem in extreme situations. So in an extreme situation, I guess a Mavic 3 or Mavic 3 Pro is going to be better than a Mini. But you have to ask yourself how many times you're actually going to be in an extreme situation where it's really, really windy. I've been in really windy situations, and I'm telling you, like really windy where I would not feel stable standing on a mountain or somewhere, and this was doing pretty good. So in my opinion, this is great in high winds, no matter what others say. This is my experience. Had no problems whatsoever. The D-Cine-alike footage is actually really easy to color grade. If you want to learn how to really quickly edit the D-Cine-alike footage on DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro, check out the links to the videos in the description or on my channel or in the top right corner of the screen right now. The D-Cine-alike footage that is 10-bit, 60 frames per second, for me is just perfection. This is one of the things that I really like about this drone. D-Cine-alike is very quick and easy to edit. At the same time, it provides a very nice flexible footage, and also with the 10-bit it's a little bit better for pushing it a little bit more than without it. But that brings us to a couple negatives that I have of this drone, and well, even though I love this drone, there are things that are maybe not the best. So for some, D-Cine-alike is not enough. Some people like the log footage that you have like from the Mavic 3. This one doesn't have it. This one only has the D-Cine-alike. For me, that's a bonus. I really actually like it, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the log footage actually, so, or at least I'm not used to it. So thanks to this is good for me, but for some people this might not be enough. But I think for social media and where this drone is marketed for, I guess, or the target audience is, I think this is more than enough. But if you want the log, it's not here. And one more thing that is actually something that I found out really quickly is normally on the Mavic Air 2, I would shoot everything in auto settings, just 4K 60 frames per second, everything auto, and footage was amazing. People were asking what kind of a drone it is. No ND filters, and the shutter speed just way off into like thousands. Well, here is the thing. I wanted to do the same thing here originally. 4K 60 frames per second, auto settings. But with the aperture that this has, f1.7, that you cannot change, putting it in auto does something that Air 2 didn't, and I really quickly noticed that, and it wasn't the best. Basically, if you're moving and the scene changes slightly, even slightly, it will change the shutter speed. But the change of the shutter speed, because it's so high, turns out to be not smooth. You can actually see the difference between when it changes. So you can kind of see like it's, instead of going smoothly, it actually goes, you know, like a block going up and then like lighter, darker, but you can see the steps between. You don't see it smoothly going from one to another. On the Air 2, I never had that situation. I would have it change, but it would be more like a gradient from one to another. On this one, it's just a harsh cut from one to another. Luckily, I got some ND filters and ND CPLs and anamorphic lenses, so I'm not gonna be using the auto anymore because of that one thing. I just don't think it looks too good in that regard. And if you're using the drone like this and you're thinking about, you know, professional videos or like high-end cinematics, you know what, just invest in some ND filters, or in this case ND CPLs, or the other one that I have is the anamorphic with the NDs, or the wide angle with the NDs. Get them so that you can actually have the, you know, your own settings. So now you can go to 120 shutter speed for the 60 frames per second, make it more cinematic in that way. I know that's a minor thing, but for me it was actually a big thing because I noticed it right away. And when you're editing the footage, you're color grading, and then everything just pops one step higher and everything is changed. It's not convenient to edit also, so that is a little bit of a downfall for this drone in my opinion. But if you can invest like $20–30 into ND filters, it's good to go. So overall, I think you can get amazing footage with this drone. It is amazing, both for photos and videos, horizontal and vertical. You know, the flight time, the battery life, everything is so good. With the RC, it's really quick and easy to set up and start going. And if you have the Fly More combo, you can actually, you know, have all of the 3 batteries with you at all times and charge them really easily. Just put them in here and then charge all of them during the night if you're traveling. So this combo has been amazing for me so far. I've been using it for a little bit now, and I took it with me, and it's so lightweight, so easy. You can literally put it in your pocket, or in my case, I like to put it in like a shoe bag and just have it on with me at all times. You get great quality footage. The Pro in the name, you know, implies that it's a pro drone, and Also the lightweight, and with the 249 grams, you are good to go in most countries. If you have any more questions, let me know down below. I'll be there to answer anything you might have. With that being said, it is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.